Hey everybody, hope and pray that you're doing well. Today as we come to our word from the word, and today that word is hallow. Hallow. Now that word hallow means to make holy or to even set apart or treat as though it's holy. And we're going to see this as we come to the end of Second Samuel. We've been talking about prayers and conversations with God. And specifically here, we've seen this week, if you've been watching daily, that David has had his ups and downs. He did the census of the people that he shouldn't have. He was willing to confess his sin, but that didn't mean that he and the people were without punishment. And so now to get rid of the plague that had come upon them because of the sin, now he has found out that he needs to offer sacrifices to the Lord. So, in acquiring everything that he needs, in searching for oxen and threshing floor and all this that he could have borrowed, he could have just used, he could have gotten it some other way, he says he runs into this gentleman who says, "No, you can just have it all." But there's something that David says here that I want us to see, and it has to do with hallow and something being holy and being set apart. And I wonder, even in our prayers, before I read the passage, I wonder in our prayers how often our prayers would line up with an attitude like this. 2 Samuel chapter 24, looking at the last two verses, verses 24 and 25. Then the king said to Araunah, "No, but I will surely buy it from you for a price. Nor will I offer burnt offerings to the Lord my God with that which cost me nothing." So David bought the threshing floor and the oxen for 50 shekels of silver. And David built there an altar to the Lord, and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. So the Lord heeded the prayers for the land, and the plague was withdrawn from Israel. Isn't it something that as many times as David sinned, and as many times as you and I sin, that he is still willing to forgive and willing to move? Now, here we see again that David has gotten to this point where he's trying to make right. He's trying to make amends for the mistakes we talked about yesterday about him being honest and being willing to ask for forgiveness and admit that he was wrong. But today, the reason I say hallow is because he comes to the point where he realizes that, okay, he needs to offer, burnt offerings to the Lord, and he needs to make sacrifices. But even though what property he would need to have to offer this, to make this altar for the Lord, even though it was going to be given to him, he says, I can't do that. He says, I am not going to offer anything to the Lord if it didn't cost me anything. And just to think about that are we willing just to give anything to the Lord, especially if it was something given to us and we say, oh, well, I'll just give that to the Lord because it's not going to hurt me anyway. That's not going to bother me. I mean, this would maybe be a tithe or offering, that we just say, oh, well, I'll give that because, yeah, that's not going to hurt anything. If it's not really costing us anything, and not just money, but I mean like time and energy, are there times where we're really willing to pay the price? And we even talked this week about the high price of his fellow soldiers, that what they did, and it made him realize just how much their loyalty was to him, and maybe how loyal he had not been to the Lord. But here at the end of 2 Samuel, we see these precious words of, I'm not going to offer anything if it costs me nothing. In other words, it's got to cost me something to make it a sacrifice worth giving to the Lord. And that it's the attitude of his heart. And it should be the attitude of our heart. But see, then he is making this hallow, or set apart. See, because in just reading this, if just looking at this, if you didn't know, then you can put this along with First Chronicles as well, that as you find out, this was no ordinary piece of property that he purchased. And you see, this is the cool part, right? As he says, no, I'll be willing to buy this, to purchase this so that I can offer up to the Lord. But no, this is the same place where Abraham had put Isaac on the altar. And it's the same place where his son Solomon would build a temple that David had so much desire to build for the Lord. And he says, no, you won't do it, but your son will. And so it's this same place, this same piece of property. And so after this, David is continually preparing things for the temple to be built. But it happens here on this spot, here where he was willing to sacrifice. And I'm not talking about the burnt offerings, but no, he was willing to sacrifice something that cost him. I wonder, just in our prayer lives, and maybe in our spiritual walk with the Lord, today, are you willing to sacrifice anything for the Lord? Are you willing for your Christianity, for your spirituality, for your spiritual growth? Are you willing for it to cost you something? That's definitely something to think about today. God bless you all, and I pray you have a great, great day.